Something for photo.
Like bring him a plate from the kitchen.
Not really.
Doesn't really matter.
Get a whitelist one.
We do. Come on. All right.
Dis onderdag. Sorry.
Good afternoon. We greet you from the very picturesque Meadowridge Bowling Club in the southern suburbs of Cape Town, and we are quite honored to have with us one of the finalists, Kevin Campbell, who we'd like to talk to, and we'd like you to get to know him better. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kevin, we in Cape Town know you. You're the maestro of bowls in the Western Cape. And but we'd like to tell our viewers how you started off, what year, and at which club.
I started playing bowls way back many years ago in Pretoria in 1969. And the club I was a member of was Pretoria West, which no longer exists. And after that I moved to CBC Old Boys, and after that I moved to Pretoria High School Old Boys, before seeing the light and moving south to the beautiful Cape.
And when you moved to the Cape, is that when you joined the Glen?
Initially it was Constantia, and then I moved to the Glen about 5 years after that.
Right. So, at what age did you start?
Officially 18 years,
18.
Yes.
Right, so if I do my arithmetic correctly, then you've been at the game for 53 years, which is fantastic.
Netsua.
And that's right. And you've really served bowls. Now, how many times have you played in this final of the Champion of Champion tournament?
I don't think you should ask me that question. I've forgotten.
Oh, you've forgotten.
Yes.
Well, obviously it's too many times. and have you won it?
Yes, I have won it previously. I've been runner-up a few times too.
That's correct. I did go and I checked on the trophy, and I see you were victorious in the year 2003, and 14 years later, in 2017, you won the Champion of Championship again.
You know, it's like a good wine. You've got to leave it a while, and then it matures and becomes better.
That's right. Now, Kevin, you've got a illustrious record in Bowl South Africa, and just give us a little bit of an insight in your highest achievements so far.
Well, the highlight for me in my entire bowls career was winning the World Bowls Championships in 1976. That was held at Zoo Lake in Johannesburg, and it was the first sporting event that was televised live on SATV. It was simply amazing. And in that competition, we won the gold medals in all 4 disciplines: singles, pairs, triples, and fours.
And the people that were with you, say, in that fours team?
The fours team was Kelvin Lightfoot, Bill Mosley, Nando Gatti, and myself.
And then you've also represented South Africa 3 times in World Bowls.
Correct?
Is that what you won at Zoo Lake?
Yes, that was the first one.
Okay, and then you've represented South Africa at the Commonwealth Games.
Also 3 times.
3 times.
Yes.
Right, now, I'm sure you're not going to be able to tell me how many times you've played in the districts, but when did you play the first time?
1970.
1970. Now, your opponent today is a young man, Armand Askaray. Have you played him before in a singles match?
Yes, I have.
And how did it go?
Not good for me.
I think somebody mentioned to me that was last year in the semi-finals of this very same competition.
Correct.
Right.
At this very same club.
And yesterday, we watched you this morning. I thought you were going to pack this rink up and take it with you. because you got the lines and the weight so beautifully. But I think you're a man that says your biorhythms must be right and all that, then you do well on the day.
Absolutely.
And
And every game you play, you're only as good as the last game you've played.
fantastic. And you feel good about the final coming up?
Yes, good.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
talking to us, Kevin. I'm sure our viewers, they would really enjoy hearing from you. Thanks very much, and play well.
Thank you, you're welcome.
Now I'm turning to a young man, Armand Askaray. Now, I would like to start with you. You are 19 years old.
Yes, uncle.
Jy moet lekker hard praat.
Okay, mag ek maar Afrikaans praat? Ja, oom, ek is.
Can we do it in Afrikaans? Armand wil graag 'n bietjie Afrikaans praat. Nou, vertel nou eers vir my, hoe het jy begin rolbal speel?
Ek het maar begin deur my ma, want ek het 'n besering opgedoen in toutrek toe ek my SA klere gekry het daarin. Toe begin ek rolbal speel in sport en toe het ek maar interesse daarin gekry en nooit opgehou nie.
En dit het hoeveel jaar gelede gebeur?
Dit was 6 jaar terug, so 2016.
2016. En wat was jou eerste klub waar jy by aangesluit het?
Perro rolbalklub.
En daarna?
Toe het ek oorgeskuif na Pavo rolbalklub toe, maar was bietjie ver. En toe polisieklub en toe het ek nou standvastigheid gekry in Edgewood Bowling Club.
Dis reg.
Die laaste 2,5 jaar.
Nou om in 'n toernooi soos hierdie te speel, die kampioen van kampioene, dis nie maklik nie, want eerstens moet jy die kampioen by jou klub word.
Ja.
En dan moet jy al hierdie gewigtige kampioene moet jy kom aandurf. Maar jy het baie goed gedoen, want ek weet nie hoeveel mense onthou nie, maar jy het verlede jaar het jy vir Kevin Campbell hier in die finaal geklop.
Semifinaal.
In die semifinaal.
21-7.
Ja, 21-7, reg. En nou jou belangstelling nou in die rolbal, het jou ma en pa speel hulle ook?
My ma speel nou plus minus 23 jaar. Het Jippo vir my hele na gekry om te speel en my pa het ook 2 jaar na begin, maar hy het opgehou.
Nou, gee vir my so 'n bietjie agtergrond van die hoogste sporte wat jy bereik het in rolbal tot dusver.
Die hoogste toekennings was nou onlangs nou die WP pare wat ek gewen het met my 2 leie, Tori Sabati en Patrick Kearns en dan ook laas jaar se Champ of Champs wat ek gewen het. En hierdie jaar het ek brons behaal by die onder 30 junior meesters, BSA meesters daarbo in Pretoria.
En dan jy het ook vir ek dink 5 jaar wat jy junior was vir WP in die toernooie.
Ja, ek het 5 jaar lank vir die onder 15 en onder 20 spanne altesaam junior skip gespeel vir daai spanne. Waarvan ons goud behaal het in 2017 vir die onder 15s en brons die jaar daarna.
Jy is 'n tweedejaars student by die Kaapstadse Technikon of Universiteit van Tegnologie. En nou 'n mens moet natuurlik nou tyd inruim om nog rolbal ook te speel.
Baie moeilik.
Is dit moeilik?
Dit is baie moeilik.
Nou, hoe sien jy nou hierdie finaal? Wat wil jy nou nog bereik uit hierdie finaal uit vandag?
Wel, eerstens om myself te geniet en teen nou waarnemende spelers te speel wat Kevin Campbell is. Ek kon nie vir beter opponent gevra het as hy nie.
'n Springbok.
'n Springbok.
Uit die boeke uit.
Uit die boek uit.
Ek dink jy het vir my ook al genoem dat jy het so 'n bietjie na daai trofee gekyk en dit is 'n pragtige groot trofee.
Ja.
En jy wil baie graag 'n deel word van daardie spelers wat dit al 2 keer gewen het.
2 keer in 'n ry gewen het. As ek dit nou wen, is ek die tweede persoon wat dit reg gekry het om dit 2 keer te wen.
Dis reg.
Ashley van Winkel was die eerste persoon wat dit 2 keer in 'n ry gewen het.
Dis heeltemal korrek. Nou maar, Armand, baie dankie dat jy met ons gesels het. Ek is seker van ons kykers gaan dit baie geniet om jou beter te leer ken en alle sterkte vir vanmiddag.
Baie dankie oom.
Right now, so if we can get all the players close by to get their cards. On rink A1, we have Dean Kaiser playing Daryl Thorburn, and Andy is the marker. On rink A3, it's the rink that is going to be live streamed today, we have Kevin Campbell playing Armand Askaray, and Noel is the marker. And on rink A4, the ladies' final is between Janita Heishamen and Maggie van Zyl, and Jenny is the marker. And on rink A5, Catherine van Wyk is playing Marion Winsdell, and for the novices, Champ of Champs, and Maureen is the marker. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a nice purple actually. Yeah, it's like a lavender purple. I've got a moonish type of purple. They were the first I saw other lady with the same colour board as mine. Because there was only 4 6 made of this colour.
Yeah, have I got your spelling right on the board? Just check up on that. And how do you pronounce your first name? Armand.
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 Like, just say arm and legs.
Armand.
Just don't say legs.
Okay.
It's spelled the same.
Alright guys, ready to go?
Yeah.
We start forward up, forward down?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll mark it straight away the same as we did.
Okay. Well, mine.
Right, okay.
We made clear chalk, ne? Uncle? You got colour chalk?
Sorry?
Coloured chalk.
Coloured chalk. Oh, I haven't got coloured chalk on that. Have we got some here?
I've got one for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Maggie.
Thank you. Thank you. Especially for the white balls.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're ready to go, and the match that we will be streaming to you is the men's final of the Champion of Champions for 2022, and it's being played at Meadowridge Bowling Club, which is at the foot of the beautiful Constantiaberg Mountain. It's about 2/3 of the way towards Cape Point. It forms part of this lovely mountain range that we've got here on the southern tip of Cape Town. This competition started in 1970. Well, that effectively means that this is the 52nd time that we have the Champion of Champion competition. This is quite a very tough competition because every participant that plays here has to win his club championship. That's how you qualify for the Champion of Championship. And to date, we have 6 players that have won this competition twice. Alan Johnson did it in 1974, 1989, and I'm giving you a little bit of background while our participants are playing their trial ends. Sean Adenal won it in 1999, 2002, Skull Kotze in 2010 and 2013, and the man that's on the green at the moment there, Kevin Campbell, he did it in 2003, and then 14 years later in 2017. And there was also Mr. Elwood, he was from Constantia, and he did it in 1981, 1985. Now I've left one name out, and that was a player who also represented South Africa, who played out of Constantia, and that was Ashley van Winkel. Now he won this champion of championship. He won this tournament 2 years in succession, in 1993 and 1994. Now the young man that we will see on screen today, busy doing his warm-up, is Armand Askaray, and I know that he would very much like to equal that record held by Ashley van Winkel, and that is to win it here today, because he won it last year in 2021. The first time that he actually participated in this champion of champions, and he won it, and he's going to try and do it again today. He's up against some very tough opposition in the form of Kevin Campbell, a Springbok, a man that has really done very, very well for bowls in South Africa. He's 71 years old and he's still doing very well. He's fit. And I watched his semi-final match this morning, and he was really playing excellent bowls, and he beat Eugene Ferreira 21-10 in that semi-final encounter. Armand Askaray beat Nick Lowe from Stellenbosch in a very tightly contested encounter, 21-15, and Nick really put up a very good performance. And he's also a man that has come a long way with his bowls. He started in Pretoria, and he told me that he belonged to a club called Vriendekring Bowls Club, and today in Pretoria now they're called Groenkloof. He plays out of Stellenbosch, and he really excelled, and it was a tightly contested match between him and Armand, but at the end Armand just had the edge on him. The ladies, the final will be between Juanita Huishamen from the Goodwood Bowls Club and Maggie van Zyl from Durbanville Bowls Club. Juanita in a semi-final match beat Petzer from Edgemead, and Maggie van Zyl beat Tuna Grobler from Gordons Bay, 21-11. And I'd like to just give you the results of the novices that I've got. It'll be Dean Kaiser from Edgemead playing against Daryl Thornbull of Bergfleet. And unfortunately, I haven't got the result of the ladies at this stage. And the game still hasn't commenced as they're busy with their second end, trial end. It's a beautiful day in Cape Town. There's a light breeze and a beautiful setting. There's a good number of spectators, and it's so good to see that the spectators are back at our sports events and they are really enjoying what they see. The greens look beautiful, in excellent condition. I think it's the best I've seen it ever since I have started playing bowls, and these players can really be very, very happy to play on greens of this caliber. There's going to be a fellow commentator today, Johnny De Souza. He's from the Goodwood Club, and it was interesting. Yesterday, in the first round, four of the top players in Western Province were taken out in the first round. And I just want to get my... Perhaps I can remember them out of hand. Johnny De Souza was one of them. Skalkotse, who's won this tournament twice before. It was Peter Harvey from Constantia who lost. And now the fourth one escapes my mind. But I will get to it eventually, and then I'll give you those names that were taken out. From what I can see, the trial ends, that both players are really finding the line beautifully, and there's not much wrong with the weight. Now we see Juanita Huysman. She's from the Goodwood Bowls Club, and she is playing against Maggie van Zyl of Durbanville. Now, Maggie van Zyl is enjoying a very, very sound season. She won the Ladies Open tournament a week ago at Somerset West. She was also the winning skip in the All Cape for the ladies section. And here she is today in the Champion of Champions. Those four top men bowlers from Western Province that were taken out in the first round, they were Johnny De Souza, Skalkotse, Peter Harvey, and the man that I couldn't get onto his name earlier on, it's Etienne Malherbe, also a player who has played for Western Province and inter-districts a good couple of years ago. Very competent bowler, and he was in a very tightly contested game against a gentleman from Milnerton. Impressive trial ends, and now the real thing will start. It will be interesting. I didn't watch the images of the toss. Kevin Campbell obviously won the toss, and he is getting things underway for us. A man with 53 years of experience in bowls, started at the age of 18, and he is from Pretoria originally, and then he came to Cape Town. interesting as well, the other chap that was in the, or player that was in the semi-final, Nick Lowe from Stellenbosch, he also comes from Pretoria and has settled in the Cape. He has settled in Stellenbosch. So the Pretoria guys are quite good, and Armand has just delivered a magnificent bowl, which is a toucher. That's a very good positional bowl, and Armand Askaray are really starting off as a real champion here. He's the current title holder. And what can Kevin Campbell do? This is a good bowl if he can only make contact. Well, we've just completed the first end.
One down.
Cole, it's obvious that I've missed an end, because I did think that it was strange that Kevin was starting from the other end. I've missed the first end. I suppose that was while I was giving some of the background. Interesting score at present is Kevin Campbell leading by one shot, 2-1 after two ends. Now, our team today bringing you these visuals. Firstly is Cole Solomon, our producer, and then we've got three cameramen today, Noel Solomon, Jared Pitts, and Michael Hoffman. And we are very fortunate for these gentlemen, because in Western Province we are making great strides in bringing live bowls to the viewers. one of the features so far this year of the Champion of Champion competition is the fact that there was quite a number of young players that have come through, who obviously have won their championship at their club. And Armand Askaray at 19 years old is one of them. There's Helio Andrade, and he's from the Oakdale Bowling Club. Helio has only been playing a bit over 3 years, and he did very well yesterday against Kevin Campbell, but at the end, the experience of 53 years counted a little against him, and after he was leading Kevin for quite a long time, Kevin Campbell managed to clinch the game. And then there's an interesting young man. He's only 13 years old. His name is Stefan Hubert, and he's from the Goodwood Club. It is so fantastic to see this, and my mind went back to the late Christo Olivier. We all knew him as Ollie, who did so much for the juniors in Western Province Bowls. And I think Ollie, if he was still with us today, he would have been so proud. I know that Armand was one of the juniors that he took a great interest in, and he always told us of Armand's immense potential and ability. And today Armand is here for the second time in the Champion of Championship, and he's trying to equal the record held by Ashley van Winkel to win this tournament in the 2 consecutive years. The score has now changed. After 3 ends, Kevin Campbell is leading 5-1. So he's 4 shots up. A great bowl delivered there by Armand Askaray. Let's see what Kevin Campbell can do. Looks like a good line. It's just a weight. As we get some visuals of the other games, we will inform you of the score, especially the ladies. Excellent effort by Kevin Campbell. And Armand moves the jack, and the marker goes down and does the necessary. Yeah, if I think back when I saw Armand play the first time, about 5 years ago, he has matured. He's become more calm on the green. He is definitely controlling himself better. And he's really become a top-class bowler. This year, he represented the Western Province A team in the inter-districts as a lead. And the reports that we got back was that he had a very good tournament. I think it was played in Equirolini, and he was very good. So, yeah, he has matured. He's controlling himself much better. Kevin Campbell does not take much time. He steps onto the mat and bowls. He does not take, he's one of the quickest players in the game. He doesn't take much time and he just rolls. And he says he's achieved all that he always wanted to achieve, and once he got to 70 years, he decided, that's it, and I just want to play for the enjoyment. And here he is in the final of the Champion of Championship. Yeah, Armand Askaray's first bowl was very good. It's about a meter behind the jack. And let's see if Colin Campbell can add a little bit of weight, because he was a bit short. Oh, he added beautiful weight, and he's drawn the shot. Spectators really enjoying the bowls. Beautiful sunshine in Cape Town. There's hardly a breeze now. Perfect conditions for bowls in the beautiful Cape. The Meadowridge Bowling Club, which is hosting this event, they were founded in 1986, so in bowls terms they're a relatively young club, because there's some clubs in Cape Town that are 70, 80 years old. So Meadowridge, founded in 1986, and as I said, beautifully situated at the foot of the Constantia Berg in the southern suburbs of Cape Town. Quality bowls being played at the moment. Armand Askaray has got 2 bowls in the head, and it'll most probably be a relatively difficult shot for Kevin. Let's see which hand he's going to prefer to try and get in amongst those bowls that are lying shot at the moment. Oh, he tried a very good shot there on his forehand. He just missed the one bowl, but it's going to be, I think, let's watch the marker, but the shot bowl is taken out, and what have they agreed? We'll have to watch the board on the opposite side of the green, where they'll make the necessary adjustments to the score. End was definitely won by Armand Askaray.
One shot. One.
Just ask this man to stand away. Very close to us. Cell phone has just gone off.
He's a novice. Is he a novice? That's
I can't do the job. I really can't. All right, now the score after 6 ends has progressed to 5-4 in favor of Kevin Campbell. Armand Askaray has won the last 3 ends. And he's really putting up a good show here. But he's up against a very, very fierce competitor. A man that has reached the highest level in bowls in South Africa. Represented South Africa in the Commonwealth Games for the World Bowls the first time in 1976. And he has also represented South Africa in the Commonwealth Games, I think 3 times. At present, Kevin is holding the shot. He takes very little time when he delivers the bowl. He steps onto the mat and immediately delivers. Great bowl, excellent weight, just a wee bit short. And if Armand taps his right foot like that, that's always when he's not too happy with the delivery that he's made. And we can see it on the visual. Kevin Campbell plays out of the Glen Bowling Club in Camps Bay. Spectators enjoying the lovely sunshine in Cape Town. Must be about 25 degrees. And they are enjoying this absorbing final that's taking place. Armand plays off a bowl and comes into the head next to. It's going to be interesting, and I think Kevin Campbell has asked the marker to indicate who's holding the shot. And being a very experienced marker, he indicates it's a measure. Now the players are going to go down to the end, and they are going to examine it for themselves and then decide which is the best shot to play. Armand can just stand and wait because he's bowled these 4 bowls, and the only man that can make a change to the situation in this head is the maestro, Kevin Campbell.
It's because they're sitting here doing it. In and out. Yeah.
What's her first name? Catherine. The score after 7 ends in the men's final of the Personal Trust champion of championship tournament. After 7 ends, Kevin Campbell leading 6-4. Now, when I gave the results of the semi-finals early on, I was unable to give you the result of a match that really took a long time. I think they've played about 28 ends, but in the end it was Catherine van Wyk, who from Somerset West, who was victorious in that game, and she's at the moment playing against Marion Wasdell, and that's in the ladies' novices, and the novices are very important to us. This is the first year that Western Province Bowls have decided that the novices must also have a champion of championship competition. So it's the first year that the novices are in action, and we are very, very happy about that. We'd like to attract the younger people to the sport, and we hope that with this broadcast that we're giving you, that some of the younger folk are going to sit down, have a good look at this, and go to your nearest bowls club and try your hand at bowls. It might look easy. It's not that easy. There's quite a bit of skill involved and lots of tactics. At the moment, Kevin Campbell is holding shot. And Armand has tried very hard, but has just come up short. It's quite an achievement if one thinks that Armand Askaray has only been playing bowls for 6 years, and he has done so well. He's won a bronze medal at the BSA Junior Masters in 2021. He's been in the Western Province Inter-Districts junior team for 5 years, under 15 and under 20. As we said, this year he was in the A team as a lead, and he's also won the Western Province pairs earlier this year. And that after 6 years playing this beautiful sport of bowls. Here's a very good attempt by Armand, but he's running a little bit wide. And a little bit of work for the marker to be done. The measuring tape will have to come out, I think. Nope. And it's one shot to Kevin Campbell. Players agreed that the other bowls were not in contention there. And that is after 8 ends. And in the ladies' final, that is between Maggie van Zyl of Durbanville and Juanita Huishammen of Goodwood, Maggie van Zyl is leading 11-5 after 9 ends. We normally find that the ladies play a little bit slower than the men, but we were busy with some interviews with our 2 men's finalists, and the ladies, they decided that they would start playing before the men started, and hence them being 1 end up on the men. 11-5 to Maggie van Zyl from Durbanville at this stage. Kevin Campbell's first bowl is very well delivered, just behind the jack. What can Armand Askaray do on this one? He again taps that right foot. Kevin Campbell delivers the bowl with such ease. There's no real effort, and you can see that is the result of 53 years of experience. Beautifully close to the jack. Askaray tries with a strongish shot. He's taken one of Kevin Campbell's bowls out, who's still holding one shot.
Just one down. One down.
Armand Askaray inquires from the marker. If it's only one shot down, the marker indicates accordingly. And again a strong shot, and he takes the bowl out. Well played. And the man sitting here close to me, Nicky Parker, I got to know him first time at Constantia. These days he's playing out of Plumstead. Nicky, they call that a smile wiper that Armand just played there.
That's correct.
And I see my help is coming nearer. That's Eugene Ferreira. He's going to come and assist with the commentary. That'll be lovely. A man with lots of insight, great bowler. And this morning things didn't go his way against Kevin Campbell. And the score is, it has changed. It is 7-5 to Kevin Campbell. And we'd like to say welcome to Eugene Ferreira that's just joined us. Eugene, thanks for joining us. I know you're a man with lots of knowledge about the game, lots of insight, and we would really like you to participate in this broadcast with us. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, Richard. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here. I was outside watching the game from the bank. And, for those who don't know, the wind's picking up quite heavily outside.
Yeah, I see the trees are starting to move now quite a bit. It was near perfect conditions in the beginning, but now I see the trees are really moving. And I know it's most probably a little bit difficult for you to sit here and assist because you played in the semi-final this morning and things didn't go your way. You had a bit of trouble finding the lines and so on, but still everybody that plays in this competition, the champion of champions, they're all winners because you first have to win your club singles to qualify to play in this.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, this morning was a bit of a struggle compared to yesterday. I found the rhythm nicely yesterday, but this morning couldn't seem to get going. And yeah, it's one of those things. It can be good one day, and next day you struggle.
Yeah, that is so true about bowls. I'm just gonna try and see if I can get some information on your results yesterday. But I know your one game you won 21-4.
Yes, that was the last game.
The last game that you played. We were all very amazed it was quickly and it was over. You know, you were obviously finding the lines and the weight and everything quite nicely at Edgemead yesterday. There we are. Yeah. And you know, that gentleman that you beat 21-4 yesterday, I don't know how many people know this, but he has been the runner-up in the Champion of Championship 4 times already in his career.
Yes.
Stefan Kuhn from Somerset West. He used to play out of Helderberg, but he's now Somerset West. So that was an excellent victory. But you know, that's how it goes. It's not the same every day, and that makes bowls a very interesting game. I'm waiting for the gentleman on the opposite side. He's on the wrong side. He's now on the right side. Let's see. The score is going to change. It's going to be 10 ends, and it's 8-5 to Kevin Campbell.
People watching, you can see on your screens Kevin playing with the orange stickers, Armand with the purple. 8-5 at the moment. Conditions are getting more difficult as the game progresses. Obviously, as they're playing now, the winds from behind them, so they'll have a little bit more speed going away from or the way they're playing now. They're a little bit faster, a little bit more sleek, and coming back to the clubhouse, going back to the clubhouse will be a bit more tacky because the wind's straight up in their faces.
Yes, and I think the rink that they're playing on, number 3, is a little sheltered by the clubhouse, but still out there it's going to be difficult. And this is the old Cape Southeaster, who always sticks its neck out in the afternoon in this part of the world. We are all so used to it, and I'm sure these players, very experienced, especially Kevin Campbell, he knows how to play in windy conditions.
Yes, no, pretty much. He comes from Glen. He plays at a Glen bowling club, country club in Camps Bay. You should be used to playing in the wind if you play at that club.
Yes, Eugene, I can remember. I've seen a huge Western Province competition there, and it was brilliant the morning, the weather. And after lunch, it was horrific. Scoreboards were flying, chairs were blowing onto, and eventually the organizers that year decided that the following day, the final day, looked at the weather forecast and they said it's going to be very similar to that afternoon, and they switched the final to this club, Meadowridge. It's about 4 years ago that happened.
Yes, I happen to know. I didn't play that year. I was part of selection, so
yeah,
and it's I think it's about just before the year before COVID, Tommy.
That's right. Yes.
Tommy.
Yeah, 2018. That's correct. But you can't believe it. Absolute perfect conditions the morning. That afternoon, it was dangerous because the scoreboards were blowing onto the green, and they had these umbrellas up, and some of these umbrellas were tumbling onto the greens and nearly injuring players and so on. So I was on the executive at that stage, and we had to take a decision, and it was decided. The general manager there, he said, conditions are going to be the same, and I don't recommend for you to play here tomorrow. I mean, you know, for a club like the Glen to make a decision like that, because, you know, it's good revenue for them to have a tournament at their club, and then I know they moved it here to Meadowridge.
Yeah, Tommy, you also have to look at, I mean, they're big enough to say that, listen, yeah, the weather's not going to be the same, so you have to look after the players, and it's a big tournament like the Western Province Masters. You've got to look after the interest of the players and the quality of the tournament. So yeah, that was a good move, and I remember we came here. I still think it was Joel Bay and Francois Trotsky from Edgemead contested the final, and he had some good quality bowls here. Where that wouldn't have been the case if they kept it at the Glen that year.
Yeah, it's very interesting now. I've watched all the games yesterday, and there weren't many players that would strategize by bringing up the mat. Now I see Armand just brought the mat quite right up, but then unfortunately put the jack into the ditch. So Kevin has taken the mat back. It's not on the 2 meter mark. It's most probably 2 meters in front of the 2 meter mark. And that's nice to see that
That's about 2.5 meters.
2.5, and it's nice to see that they're trying to outclass their opposition by playing with the mat. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's part of the strategies, and it's always interesting to see how, when you play against someone, how they respond to different lengths. I mean, this morning Kevin he found around the clock the backhand and tried to upset him at the length, but it doesn't always work. You try and catch your opponent when you're not playing so well yourself.
Eugene, you being a semi-finalist today, you've been in a final before of the Champion of Champions?
Yes, I have. I think it was in 2015 or 2016, I'm not quite sure.
Right. And now your bowl started when you were a very young man. You were 7 years old.
1997, yeah.
And
7 years old.
And where did that start in?
I was born in Westville in Durban.
Okay.
Started my bowls there, and yeah, the family played, and from that day, well, 7 years old I think was a reasonable age to start playing, and I never stopped playing. Still played my school sports and everything, but yeah, bowls, got stuck playing bowls my whole life.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know, Eugene, you've done such a lot for bowls in Western Cape, and I know that you are still putting back into the game because you're going to get involved with the juniors as an assistant manager for the under-30 team.
Yes, that's correct.
Well, that's fantastic, and you know, you yourself, you have done wonders with the commentating on the game, which we have started here in Western Province, thanks to Noel and his team. And people tell me that the streaming that we are doing, they compare it with other centers in South Africa, but it's of the best. And you've been one of the first commentators to commentate on this game.
Yes, Tommy. You know, it's basically they started it not so that everyone around the country can see it, but to make it a little bit more appealing to the younger generation. You know, to get them to see that there's opportunities to play in front of cameras and whatever. So when you do things like this, you really want it to be up to scratch, you know. And then Knowles and his team just brings a different aspect to it. I really hope they get the opportunity to do the SA Masters next year, as it's coming to Cape Town. Goes at Western Province Cricket Club. So yeah, I really hope also that Africa will get in touch with them and get them on board to do the SA Masters next year, because they do a brilliant job.
Yeah, no, the feedback that we're getting is that it's very good, and we obviously are very proud that this is all happening here in the Western Cape. And Armand has just won another end, and the score is now 8-7, a closely contested match here.
Here's an interesting fact there, Tommy. I sat at the same table last year commentating when Armand won the Champion of Champions, and we even had Kevin Campbell in the commentary box with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, this year I'm sitting here again by my own feet, but yeah, Kevin's out on the green playing against Armand, defending his title.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. Eugene, you know, we are so fortunate to have you. At present, you're an A-team skip for Western Province. You've got a fantastic knowledge of the game, and for you to share that with the viewers is really fantastic. You can read the game, you know what's going on, and I think towards the end, then it's really going to build to a nice climax. At the moment, Kevin Campbell leading 8-7, and that's after 12 ends. So we're just over halfway through. Well, that
Almost
is, they don't play 21 ends, they must play up till 21 points or shots. So
yeah, it's a very up and down game at the moment. I mean,
yeah,
none of them have really. It looked like a couple of ends that one of them have started finding their rhythm, but very up and down, as you can see. Both struggling, conditions not 100%, but yeah, it's should be interesting if it keeps on going like this.
Yeah, nobody is really dominating at this stage. Nobody is dominating.
Armand seems to be playing good lines. He's just been battling a little bit with the weight. And as soon as he gets it under control, it should bring the quality of the game right back up to speed. Kevin, as you know, the better you play, he just adapts and plays better himself. He's been around town for many years, and he's actually, I heard yesterday that he now only prefers to play singles and pairs, and he's not very much interested in playing fours, so he really applies his mind when playing singles.
Yeah, but Kevin Campbell has always been a very good singles player. And yeah, you know, we were sitting having a drink yesterday at Edgemead, and he was saying, you know, he's now 71 years old. He has achieved quite a bit. He wants a little bit of more free time to himself, and he doesn't want to commit himself to too much bowls. And as you say, he'll play pairs and he'll play singles.
Yes.
Now, I looked at the trophy and I took down the names of the people that's won this tournament twice. Alan Johnson, did you ever?
Yes, I know. Pendulum. They used to call him Pendulum Johnson. He was also a very good coach and a manager at the under 25s.
Yeah.
And open side. So yeah, no, very popular man he was.
And then Sean Adenell from Durbanville, he won it in '99 and 2002. And then one of the top guys that were taken out yesterday in the first round, Schalk Kotze, he did it in 2010, 2013. And then, of course, there's a chap, Elwood, from Constantia. Can you remember him?
I can't recall.
Yeah. 1981-85.
I think it would be difficult for me. I was born after that day.
And then, of course, the man that holds the record in this tournament, and that is Ashley van Winkel. He won it 2 years in a row, in 1993 and in 1994. Now, when I spoke to Armand, one of the things that he said to me, I would like to try and equal Ashley van Winkel's record, and because he is the current champion, and he's going to try very hard to do it again today. He's up against a tough competitor. We all know Kevin Campbell. He never gives up.
Yeah, and he's still very much in the game, so it's not out of reach. You know, 21 is still a long way away, and they're 8 all at the moment, so he's still got every chance in the world. And it seems like he's starting to find a little bit of rhythm, or a little bit of range, as I can say. So let's just see if that continues. Remember, playing towards the clubhouse, a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
Wind very gusty. It's not a consistent wind, so it just adds to the difficulty levels of playing a consistent game.
Yeah, and I think, you know, both of these players, their home clubs, Kevin being at the Glen in Camps Bay, and Armand at Edgemead, in Edgemead, and you know, you've played there often, how the wind can really pump at Edgemead.
Both their clubs were very exposed to wind actually. Edgemead yesterday, brilliant. We had absolutely brilliant weather.
Yeah.
Not really a breeze to speak of. It makes it easy and makes for a nice game of bowls. Yeah, if you come from Cape Town or Port Elizabeth, sometimes even George, we know what the wind can be like.
How are they doing this in Gaza?
Armand is holding shot. I think that gentleman asks me to speak in another language, but ek is jammer, ek is nie daai taal magtig nie.
No, he was just making a joke. He said, why don't we broadcast in, what do we do? Kosa broadcast as well. I said, no, unfortunately not.
Eugene, I want to ask you, there's something that I noticed, and the younger players that are coming through, that's playing bowls. You know, yesterday, Helio Andrade from Oakdale, he did well. He lost to Kevin Campbell. Armand is only 19 years old, and then we've got this little young man from Goodwood, 13 years old.
Yeah,
Divan Hubert. And you that are going to help to with the juniors and so on, you must be quite pleased to see these young people. And you know, if they see them on this broadcast or so, it might spur their mates at school. That might spur them on to also get involved and start playing bowls. That was just a wonderful bowl delivered by Kevin Campbell.
Yes, Armand opting for a little
stronger shot.
Straight drive.
Yeah.
Not, almost got a good result by
Nearly
flicking
a
that
good
ball
result.
back onto
Yeah.
the white.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me it's very pleasing to see that we've got such a fresh talent coming through, and I really do hope that they get noticed in the future and get taken up into the national squads and so forth. And yeah, I just hope that they continue playing the game that we so dearly love, and that they will make it a goal of theirs to end up in a green blaze or end up being a Protea in the future.
Perhaps some of the viewers would like to know what's happening in the ladies' final. At the moment, Maggie van Zyl is doing reasonably well. After 14 ends, she's up 18-8. And she's playing against Jonita Huisaman of the Goodwood Bowls Club. The game that we are there, they're just showing us the ladies. Jonita on the left, Maggie on the right. And Maggie is really having a wonderful season. Won the Western Province Ladies Open last week at Somerset West. And she was also the skip in the Ladies All Cape that won the title. So she's really having, it's amazing how you have these wonderful phases that you go through. It's nearly like golfers. They play well for one or two tournaments and then they fade away again, and then it takes them a while to get back.
Yes, no, it's like that. I mean, I had mine 2 years ago or a year ago. Had a brilliant season. You don't have to have it every year, so you take it while you can. Yeah, she's been getting good results, and she's also one of the SA Masters competitors. So yeah, it's I'm sure we'll see her back there next year.
Yeah, you were talking about your wonderful season that you had. You were the Junior SA Masters champion already.
Yes.
And you won 6 medals. Was that in your 13th year of competing?
I think I've done 3 bronze medals, 2 silvers, and the gold medal with 3 consecutive years in a row. I think it was 2011, 2012, and 2013, if I'm not mistaken. I lost in the final twice, and eventually in the 3rd year, I managed to sneak a gold medal.
It had to come.
Well, I had to come before I was too old to play in the junior masters.
Yeah. Okay. Just watch Kevin quickly on the mat. Takes very little time, and that very relaxed delivery. It seems effortless.
He doesn't really rush it, but he takes his time before the mat, which also helps.
Yeah.
Even if you're quick on the mat, you have to stand and think about it somewhere. As you can see, Armand also stands and takes his time behind the mat, gets to the mat, and fairly quickly delivers his ball.
Yeah, there's one thing that I've noticed, Kevin Campbell, he picks his bowl up and he first checks very well, the bias on the bowl. I don't know whether he's bowled many wrong biases, but he's very meticulous in the way he goes about it.
Looks like he's added a bit of weight, just see if he can get onto that bowl of Armand's. He's just pulled it under the line there.
Yeah.
Armand's already back on the mat playing, so
it's quite quick.
A fairly good tempo here. Just the line was decent, it's just end about half a meter short.
I think it's the first time in the match that Armand is leading. According to my scorecard, it will now be 9-8 in favor of Armand Askaray after 14 ends. The man says 15 ends. They say it's 9 each. All right, I must have missed an end.
Just had a little bit of a discrepancy there in the Novice Champion of Champs and Rink 1. They burnt the end, I think, and neither one of them knew what happens, or if I burn the head, then it's the opponent's choice if he wants to replay the end or not. If we can't agree, then it must be replayed from the same end. They didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had to ask around.
Yeah, and in Western Province there's a rule, I think I'm correct if I say this, it's only in singles when the end is burnt that it doesn't go to the 2 meter mark. In all the other competitions, pairs, trips and fours, if the end is burnt, it goes to the 2 meter mark.
Yes, that rule has raised a lot of debate in Western Province over the last year. Singles obviously the only competition not spotted. I do not really mind the spotting rule, but I think the spotting rule must then just be applied the way that they do it internationally. We also place it to the side, which is where the jack was burnt, and not only the 2 meter mark. I think there was a lot of debate about it. Seeing that they wanted to save time, but we never, in province, we don't really have a problem with time because the sun stays up for quite some time.
Yes.
I'm just coming up short. Got a great line.
It was a wonderful line. Yes, that rule was definitely instituted to try and speed the game up. Everybody is saying that we've got to speed things up, and like the cricket, they play T20 and one-day internationals, and they try everything to make bowls also a little quicker and more appealing. Kevin has just
made contact with his bowl and he's pushed it quite close up to the I think Armand will have a little bit of a run on the forehand here. Yeah, and indeed he does.
I think it's just
He gets his own ball at the right angle. He's made it, and he's down only one down now.
yeah.
It's always so interesting listening to the people sitting on the bank saying that he could have drawn that shot. It's always much easier playing the game from the side.
Hulle sê in Afrikaans, Eugene, die beste stuurman staan aan wal.
Ja.
En dit is so. Hulle weet altyd beter. Maar ek dink dit was die korrekte hou wat Armand daar probeer het. Ongetwyfeld.
I agree with you. He was just looking to get the 1-2 or even get one of the balls square and stay for shot. He didn't have crazy weight. He played a nice controlled shot.
Oh, there's a lovely picture of the clubhouse in the background. And we are coming to you from the Meadowridge Bowling Club at the foot of Constantiaburg in the southern suburbs of the beautiful Cape Town.
Yes, and lovely to see all the spectators out. There's quite a bank full of spectators again here today. Let's come out on the Sunday.
I mentioned it earlier on, Eugene. Really, it is so nice to see the spectator involvement, and you know, it does mean quite a lot to the players participating. You know, a little bit of applause when there's a good shot and things like that. It helps a lot.
Yeah, we've just been informed that Maggie, as you can see, they're busy signing the card. Maggie Van Zyl has won the ladies champion of champions for 2022. She continues the good form, third tournament in a row, in the space of 3-4 weeks. So well done to Maggie and well done to Durbanville Bowling Club.
Yes, there were big celebrations last Sunday after they did so well at Somerset West, and Maggie Van Zyl continues with the great performance for Durbanville, and I'm sure she'll be going to the club because there's a huge competition on at Durbanville yesterday and today. And Maggie has won the Ladies Champion of Championship, sponsored by Personal Trust, 21-10 against Unita Huishamer.
Yeah, I need to stop playing balls for a couple of years. She's back now. She herself has won. I think she's played in the final of the Junior SA Masters once or twice. I think twice, actually. So yeah, funny enough, we there's Maggie giving a thumbs up to those watching from Durbanville. Once again, well done to Maggie for winning the Champion of Champions. I think I'm quite sure it's not her first time winning it.
Yeah, now I'm not quite sure. I haven't really asked her. Perhaps if I catch her eye just now, I'll ask her to.
Remember the bloody problems and things. You've done a great job there, man. Great job.
Okay, we are very fortunate that the winner of the 2022 Ladies Champion of Championship, she's just come and joined us, en ek gaan bietjie Afrikaans praat met haar. Maggie, vinnig, ek wil net by jou hoor, hoeveel keer het jy nou al vir hierdie kampioen van kampioene toernooi gekwalifiseer?
Ek het gekwalifiseer al 3 keer en dit is die tweede keer wat ek dit gewen het.
Wonderlik. En Maggie, jou wonderlike seisoen wil maar net nie eindig nie. Jy was die skip in die All Cape wat jy gewen het. Toe gaan jy Somerset Wes toe en jy wen die dames ope enkels op Somerset Wes. En vandag, nou hierdie is nie 'n maklike kompetisie nie, want nommer 1, jy moet eers by daardie gewigtige klap van jou se spelers verbykom om daar die kampioen te wees voor jy kwalifiseer vir hierdie toernooi.
Ja,
en jy het dit gedoen. Ek weet laas jaar was jy in daai finaal, was jy net so, dit was mos daai geweldige, ongelooflike kop waar jy toe nie die kampioen was nie. Ek het daai wedstryd self gekyk en maar ons het so 'n bietjie hier na jou spel gekyk en dit het vir my gelyk of jy die lyne en alles baie lekker gekry het. Was jy gelukkig met die
Sommige van dit was goed. Daar was 'n paar keer wat as jy die lyn mis, dan gaan jy jou bal vreeslik wyd of jy sny heeltemal oor. So ja, dit was, maar daar was 'n lyn en as jy hom gevind het, was dit maar net van die gewigbeheer wat saak gemaak het dan.
Ek wonder of ou Piet, dis nou jou man, of hy nou so 'n bietjie na hierdie uitsending van ons kyk, want ek kan sy gesig al sien as hy nou sien
Hy speel by Durbanville in die Citadel.
Hy is in daai toernooi.
Ja.
Okay. Maar ek dink hy gaan seker binnekort so 'n boodskapie kry op 'n WhatsApp of iets om te sê.
Ek dink hy het dit klaar gekry.
Maar Maggie, ons wil net vir jou sê baie geluk.
Baie dankie.
Pragtig. Ons het nou nie vandag hele wedstryd op gefokus nie, maar ons het hom so 'n bietjie dopgehou en ons het deurgangs vir die mense so 'n bietjie vertel hoe dinge verloop het vir jou en baie geluk.
Dankie.
En hou aan, jy's 'n ster en jy is 'n baie gewigtige opponent vir enige rolbalspeler hier in die Weselike provinsie.
Dankie Tommy.
Baie dankie Maggie. Nou dit was Maggie van Sail, die dames wenner van die Personal Trust kampioen van kampioene toernooi wat hier by die Meadowridge rolbalklub afgehandel word en haar telling teen Johanita Huishamen is 21-10 en 'n mens moet sê Johanita het nou vir 'n paar jaar het sy glad nie rolbal gespeel nie. Sy is maar net so rapsie oor 'n jaar wat sy teruggekeer het tot die spel en sy het uitstekend gevaar om hier in die finaal te wees. Op die oomblik, die wedstryd waaraan ons aandag gee, Kevin Campbell hou die skoot en die telling op die oomblik is 12-9 in die guns van Kevin Campbell. Ons is nou besig met die 18de kop en Kevin Campbell loop voor 12-10 en sy eerste bal het hy net so rapsie agter die witbal neergesit. Kom ons kyk wat maak hy met hierdie tweede bal. baie wyd gaan haal. Maar ek dink dit is 'n bal vir 'n posisie wat hy speel. And you can hear it through our effects mic, the wind starting to blow a bit stronger. And the players have got to contend with that. They have to make sure. And I have a big problem. Another gentleman is coming to sit right in front of me to obscure my view. And I don't know what to do. Our producer, Cole, is going to get up and do something for us. Kevin Campbell still holding the shot here. This is anybody's game, this one. And I know that Armand Askaray would very much like to be the winner here today. If he does that, he will only be the second player in the 52 years existence of this tournament to win the champion of championship in consecutive years. The only man that's achieved that thus far was Ashley van Winkel, who played out of the Constantia Bowling Club, and he did that in the 93-94, and in 1993 and in 1994. Other players that has won this tournament 2 years: Alan Johnson in 1974, 1989, Sean Adenall from Durbanville, 1999 and in 2002, Skal Kotze in 2010 and 2013, and Kevin Campbell has done it in 2003 and 2017, and then there was a gentleman by the surname of Elwood. Unfortunately, I haven't got his first name. He played out of Constantia. He did it in 1981 and 1985. At the moment, the marker is requested to do some duty in measuring, and the bowls are quite far from the jack. Score is...
Tommy, I think that surname Albert, I think if you would ask Alan Loftus, you would know exactly who that was.
Is Alan here?
No, he's not here, but I'm just saying, he would probably be the best to tell us.
Yeah, I see Alan Loftus has also won the champion of championship. He's won it once.
Yes, that's right.
And now the umpire has been called to do duty, and she's dressed in that red shirt which all the umpires wear, and she's got her case with all the equipment in it to make sure, and the marker is going to assist her because it's quite a long way away.
Yeah, I think the umpire's on the wrong side if I'm looking at it. She's supposed to be on the ball side.
Yeah.
If the umpire's been called, she's the one that
yeah,
must call who's holding the shot.
And Kevin Campbell managed to win the 19th end, one shot. No, two shots in it. There were two shots. They measured for the second shot. and the score at present is 14-10, and I think that's the biggest difference in shots that there's been in this match so far, Eugene.
Yeah, sure. Armand came in for a quick toilet break. Said he wasn't finding the rhythm. He walked past me, said he wasn't really finding the rhythm.
Yeah.
And he walked past me, I gave him a couple of words of advice. And the conditions are not the easiest.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure he would love to win this tournament 2 years in a row.
He's very amped about winning it again.
Yeah. Well, that was a brilliant bowl. It's just a little bit long, but the line was very good. I had the opportunity to talk to him yesterday, and I said to him, when I saw him play the first time, things have changed. He's become more relaxed. He's controlling himself far better on the green than before. Do you agree?
Yes, I think it comes with time. Maybe, you know, when I was a youngster, I also had to learn the hard way, and he's going through the same kind of thing at the moment. And yeah, he was only 19 and he made his first A provincial side this year, so yeah, he's gaining experience quickly and a lot of composure, so it certainly helps.
Yeah, you know, and the reports that I heard after they came back from the inter-districts was that he had a very good tournament.
He really had, yes. I was there skipping. He played the lead in Nick Brusling's side, and yeah, he was absolutely outstanding. I don't really think there's one of the leads that out-bowled him that I can recall.
You know, I spoke about this man early on, and I was very close to him, and that's the late Christo Olivier, Ollie. And these young players all knew him as Uncle Ollie.
Yes.
And in 2018, I attended a junior tournament, and Ollie spoke to me and he said, the man with the most talent and the most potential is most probably Armand Askaray. Ollie and then Ollie said to me, but you have to control him. At that stage, it was where you had to really control him. And I think old Ollie would have been very proud if he now sees what Armand has achieved.
Yes, no, it is like that. You seen there, that last shot Armand played, I think he just played it out of a bit of frustration, actually.
Or desperation.
No, I wouldn't say desperation, out of frustration.
Frustration.
He said he's not finding his rhythm.
Aye.
And sometimes that can cost you. You just seen that he only had one boot in the head.
Yeah.
He decided to have a run at the head and took his own ball out and dropped the 4.
Well.
So now, all of a sudden, it's 18-10 and Kevin Campbell is very close to sealing off the title.
Yeah.
Armand will have to work hard to get those 8 shots back.
Yeah, I think this 20th end can be regarded as this stage the big turning point in this match. And Kevin Campbell, he is already sniffing victory. He's 3 shots away from victory. And the big question is, can Armand come back and pick up a few shots and make it a bit difficult for Kevin Campbell?
Kevin playing with a lot of confidence now.
Very.
I think, in my opinion, Armand just giving him a bit too much free range on that hand. I tried to overcome that this morning, and he played backhand, and he's doing exactly the same in this game. Kevin seemed to have found the line and the weight on that end.
Oh, he's definitely found it. He's played 2 magnificent bowls on this, the 21st end.
Right now, Armand needs to get a bowl very close. This is a stage where you can actually. He just slipping past. I think he was just about 1.5 feet over the weight there. Line was spot on.
Very good.
Kevin sticks another one in there. Armand's going to be feeling the pressure. Kevin I think he's just thrown it outside the line and coming up 1.5 yards short.
You know, sometimes a short bowl like that is in the eye and it puts you off. We'll watch this one closely. Can he make contact?
He's just going to drop underneath it. Armand's not out of the woods yet. Kevin draws another year. He'll be holding game. Kevin seems to have liked that ball as he let it go. Weight looks very good. He doesn't need to touch. Right,
Armand has got to get a bowl in there to save the game.
Day. He can't drop a 3.
No, he can't.
Just let it go under the weight again. Looks like only 2 shots to Kevin.
Kevin is asking for the marker to measure that.
It's actually quite deceiving from the TV angle as the viewers are watching as well. It quite clearly looks like the white ball's in before Kevin's ball.
Yeah, because it's more in at the back of the jack, whereas the other one is at a slant.
No, it's quite well enough. So
Correct.
I thought that was a little bit too obvious.
And the wind is now really starting to blow quite strongly. We can hear it in our effects mic. And you know, in the last 3 ends, Kevin Campbell has picked up 8 points.
Yeah, 8 shots in 3 ends.
8 shots. 8 shots in 3 ends.
Yeah, could you put you quite far back in the game?
Really? Yeah.
All of a sudden, Armand's under pressure, yes. You know, at this stage, he should only be saying to himself, get one at a time, get one, and
Yes.
just try and prevent Kevin from winning the game at all cost.
That's right. Just keep the game alive.
And just try and see if you can get some scoreboard pressure back on Kevin.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, in a singles game, when you get to 20, then it's sometimes difficult to get that very last shot in order for you to get the game. Now let's see what Armand is just running through a bit.
Yeah, he's just lost his rhythm. Unfortunately, I had the same thing happen to me this morning, and it's difficult if you think you play one good and you think you've got your rhythm, and you go on the mat and your next ball's 1.5, 2 meters short, and then all of a sudden you've lost the rhythm again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be cruel sometimes. I'm not coming down on a decent track here. Hey, just played it over the weight again.
Just a good draw. That is what is required to put Kevin Campbell under pressure. Failing that, Kevin Campbell is going to be the first person to win the champion of championship 3 times. There's only 6 other people that's done it twice.
He's left Armand a lot of space. And
this is a good line.
Armand's weight's good, yeah. It just looks like the ball, if it gets into that green patch, it pulls up quite.
Yeah. And it's into the face of the wind.
That also sits, yeah.
The southeaster is coming over my right shoulder as I sit here. And it's right into Armand's face. Now Campbell has put in a bowl quite close to the jack. It's just short.
Yeah, Armand's got the last ball and he needs to draw the shot, yeah, otherwise
it's game over.
It's all over and done with. He's played it down on a decent line. That seals it.
Yes, and Kevin Campbell is the 2022 Personal Trust Men's Champion of Champion winner, and he's the first bowler in the 52 years of the existence of this competition to win the final 3 times. He's done it in 2003, he's done it in 2017, and now 5 years later he's doing it in 2022. And we say well done to Kevin Campbell. At the age of 71, he's been at the game for 53 years, and today the experience counted in his favor. A wonderful person to speak to, and it's actually sad for Armand, but you know, I'm sure Armand will learn out of this final that he's just played.
Yes, no, I'm sure he will, and from my side also, congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Had an easy day at the office.
You're not
won
wrong.
both his semis and the final 21-10. Beat me 21-10 and he's just beaten Armand 21-10 as well, so he didn't have a difficult game at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I made it.
So well done.
You know, Eugene, I made a mistake on my score sheet here this morning when I entered the semi-final score. I put it in the column for where the winner is.
Yes.
And as you can see, it is exactly the same score that Kevin achieved against you, 21-10. He beat Armand 21-10.
Yeah, but that's the top, the section 1s.
I lost to him last year.
So you...
Yes.
That was just up until the semis.
You're from Constantia, aren't you? Yes.
Good job, 21-10.
21-10.
Armand. It was a good final to watch, and we only got 2 games still going, and it was the men's.
Is it the novices?
Champion of Champions, and the ladies novice champion of champions still going on. And with that said, Tommy, I'm gonna.
Are you gonna leave me?
Yes, I'm gonna leave you to finish off the broadcast. Maybe we're gonna have a little something cold with my missus.
Eugene, thank you very much for assisting. It was really good to have you next to me here with all your great knowledge about the game, and thank you everything what you are doing for bowls in the Western Cape. We appreciate it. I'm sure you don't hear it every day, but I can tell you there's a lot of people that's taking notice of you, and we all know what Eugene Ferreira can achieve. You're a wonderful bowler, and I know there's a great future for you in Western Province Bowls, so please keep up the good work.
Thank you, I
and
appreciate
please,
it very much.
it was wonderful to have you as part of the commentary team. Really, thank you very, very much for assisting.
Yeah. I must just in future exchange a bit more of the commentary for some gold medals. That would be nice. But thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Eugene. Okay, there's still a bit of a novice game going on, and that's the ladies novices as well as the men, and we'll see. We must thank our team that made this broadcast possible. Cole Solomon, our producer, who's given us these visuals, and then the 3 cameramen, and then the man in charge of this whole operation, Noel Solomon. We can only say thank you, Noel, for the great work you're doing for Western Province Bowls and for South Africa Bowls. And then Jared Pitts and Michael Hoffman, his assistants. They've given us nice visuals. I see they're moving some cameras, and it's possible that we are going to see a little bit of the novice competition. And we will see what we are going to bring you. Table Mountain and Devil's Peak in the background. And we're at the Meadowridge Bowling Club at the foot of the Constantia Berg. And our spectators are really enjoying it. The wind's blowing a bit. We can see the umbrellas moving around. And there's the flags. And this is the Cape Southeaster. Not very strong, but it's enough to really influence play, and the players will have to adjust to bowl into the wind and with the wind. In the men's final, it's Dean Kaiser from Edgemead, and he's playing against Daryl Thorburn of Bergfleet. And Dean Kaiser this morning, he defeated the young man from Goodwood, Ivan Hubert, and Daryl Thorburn, he was victorious against Jason Butler from Durbanville. I'm trying to get a score for you. Most probably Noel and his team can focus on the flipboard on the opposite side. Daryl Thorburn is talking to the spectators as he walks up to the mat. What's he going to do? The clubhouse in the background, Constantia Berg behind the trees on your right.
She said Delvine mentioned that you live just
I think that's going to come up a bit short. And there's our one cameraman. That's Michael Hoffman. That's trying to really give you. And after 21 ends, the score is 18 all. But obviously now on the 22nd end, it's got to change.
Maybe
We live in the
wrong
retirement village at
Okay. And Delvine has now gone to frail care somewhere.
and she gone to Jakarta.
Somewhere in Meadowridge.
She's in frail care, but in recuperation from the hospital.
Yes.
Until she goes back to her.
She's not going back to it.
Not going back to her.
I think there was one shot in that. Yeah, the score has now gone to 19-18, and that's after 22 ends.
I know, because she told Edison that you guys live close to where she used to live. So then Edison said, oh, you're going to be neighbours to
Maybe talking about Kimberley. Kimberley's not very big.
Daryl Thorburn, who's leading 19-18 in the novice men's final. He plays out of the Bergfleet Club, which is just a few kilometers away from Meadowridge, where we are. And Dean Kaiser, he plays out of Edgemead. Armand Askaray was also from the Edgemead Club. He unfortunately couldn't make it against Kevin Campbell. And I know their president, Graham Kemp, was here earlier on to come and support his Edgemead players. Also a man that has done a tremendous amount for bowls in the Western Cape. And the spectators are still sitting in this breeze and they are watching the men's novice final. And the man coming to the mat now is Dean Kaiser, playing out of the Edgemead Club in Edgemead. Lovely follow through, straight arm. And that is Daryl Thorburn from the Bergfleet Bowling Club. He had a very good game in the semi-finals this morning. It's so wonderful to see the novices in action in this year's Champion of Champions. And that was a brilliant bowl delivered there by Dean Kaiser. He picks up the jack and takes it towards the back. And I think with that shot he's holding 2. So there's a fight back. He's trailing by 1 shot at present. I've got the colours mixed up a little bit. With that shot, I think that Dean played there. He conceded the 2 shots to Daryl Thorburn. And if nothing changes, Daryl Thorburn from the Bergfleet Bowling Club will be our champion of the novices for the men in 2022. Now, what can Dean Kaiser produce? He knows that he's got to draw in amongst those bowls and avoid Daryl Thorburn from picking up those 2 shots, because that's all he needs to become the personal trust novice men's champion for 2022 in the Champion of Championship. Unfortunately, he runs into short bowls, and the 2 gentlemen, they step across to one another, and Daryl Thorburn from the Bergfleet Bowling Club is victorious, and he beats Dean Kaiser by 21 shots to 18. And we say congratulations to Daryl Thorburn. and our very able cameraman. They have quickly adjusted our cameras, and now we're going to focus on the ladies' final that's taking place. And the ladies' final is between Marion Wasdell, and Marion is from the Helderberg Club, and she's playing against Catherine van Wyk, and Catherine is from Somerset West. So it's the two neighboring clubs. They're 2 kilometers away from one another, and quite interesting. Both these clubs are in the basin. Here in Cape Town we have the northern region, the southern region, and then we've got the basin where the clubs Strand, Helderberg, Somerset West, Gordons Bay, they are all situated in the basin. And Helderberg and Somerset West, they're approximately 2 kilometers away from one another. Now, who is going to be victorious? Is it Marion from Helderberg, or is it going to be Karen van Wyk of Somerset West? Now, I'm just watching our screen here to see if we get a picture of the scoreboard, then I can give you the situation. Of the ladies' final. And our producer is going to do everything in his power to try and get them to just show us the flipboard so that we can give you the score as it stands at the moment. They've played 19 ends. And the score at present is 17-11. And I've just got to determine who's got the red stickers on their bowls and who's got the white stickers on their bowls. I think the way I can work it out is that Marion Wasdell is leading 17-11 after 19 ends. She's playing out of the Helderberg Bowling Club in Somerset West. Oh, so we've been able to show you a little bit of the novice finals, and as we previously said, the champion of champion winner in the final for the men's novices is Daryl Thorburn, and he plays out of Bergfleet Bowling Club. On the mat at the moment is Catherine van Wyk, Somerset West Bowling Club bowler. And this is the final of the ladies novices. And that was a very good bowl delivered. She took a bowl out. Score at present 17-11, and we are just waiting on the official on the other side to change the score. That's the 20th end.
Guys, have we got a secret?
And the last game, and I must say, the ladies semi-final, I think it went to 28 ends, and everybody was waiting for play to commence at 12 o'clock, and we had to wait because the ladies were really having a tussle, and it took a long time, and eventually it was completed. And once again, the novice ladies are last on the greens, and they're playing the 21st end.
What can you do? Easy time in one's life.
Just to give you the results that we've got so far, the champion for 2020 in the Ladies Open is Maggie van Zyl from Durbanville Bowls Club, who beat Juanita Huishammer from the Goodwood Bowls Club 21-10. The Men's Open, Kevin Campbell won the champion of championship. He won it for the third time, the only player that's made this achievement possible thus far in the 52 years that the competition has been played, and he beat Armand Askaray 21-10. And in the men's novices, the champion for 2022 is Daryl Thorburn from the Berkfleet Bowling Club. On the mat now is Catherine van Wyk of Somerset West. Score in their game 17-13, and that's Marion Wasdell from Helderberg that's leading. As I said, these two clubs are situated approximately 2 kilometers from one another in Somerset West. And the novice ladies are surely making a name for themselves, because their games, they last the longest, most heads being played. It was a marathon in the semi-finals, 28 ends I think. Now let's watch this flip chart on the other side. And it's obvious that Catherine van Wyk has won that end. She's got the mat. Three shots in it at present. Still anybody's game. And these ladies are really trying very, very hard. The trees are still moving on the other side there, so there's quite a bit of wind.
definite location.
Now can Marion Wasdell get this bowl inside Catherine van Wyk's previous bowl, which is holding shot at present? This is still anybody's game. She's a bit narrow, and currently Catherine van Wyk holding shot. Score 17-14, playing the 22nd end.
Like that in every club. Every club of the state. That's the way it is.
Obvious that Marion Wasdell is trying to pick up the jack and take it towards her bowls, which is lying on the right hand side. What can Catherine van Wyk do? Can she put another one there? Holding shot at the moment, Catherine van Wyk and Marion Wasdell. Concentration, lovely delivery. Is she going to do it? She's trying very hard, but it's just running through. And most of the people have left their seats now where they were sitting watching the games thus far. Lots of noise behind us here, and I've just got to watch and see whether that was one shot or two. Catherine van Wyk fighting back. It was one shot. Score at the present moment after 22 ends, 17-15 in favour of Marion Wasdell from the Helderberg Bowling Club. Kom sit gou hier, kom jou plek. In the ladies novice final. Score at the moment 17-15. But I've managed to get hold of Armand Askaray. Where's he gone now? I'd like to just quickly talk to him. I know it won't be nice to talk, he's just lost in the final.
It's fine with me, soos ek.
Is jy aan my regterkant? Ek gaan Afrikaans praat met Armand. Armand, ek weet jy wou jy jou naam gevoeg het by daardie spelers, daar 6 van hulle wat nou al 2 keer hierdie kampioen van kampioene gewen het, maar dit was bietjie moeilik vandag.
Ag, mis okay met my. Ek het beter spele het gewen, so dit is maar taamlik okay met my. Ek het nog 50, 60 jaar voor my.
Is wonderlik dat jy so daaraan dink en jy het miskien iets daaruit geleer. Jy weet Kevin Campbell speel vir 53 jaar rolbal, jy speel 6 jaar, maar jy het in jou 6 jaar het jy al baie hoogtepunte bereik. En ek weet nie of jy dit besef het nie, maar Kevin het nou vandag ook iets hier bereik. Hy is nou die eerste speler in 52 jaar
wat het 3 keer gewen.
Wat het 3 keer gewen. O, jy het dit ook opgetel. Goed.
Ek doen my koekies.
En Armand, voorkant toe, wat lê vir jou voor?
Wel, nou hopelik is die WP meesters nou om die draai, is in 2-3 weke se tyd. Hopelik kry ek my ritme daar en speel lekker. En dan hier in Junie, middel Junie speel ek en my parepate in die Pro 10 Champ of Champions, Fransjo Trotsky in die Pro 10 Power Pace van WP. Het ons klub Power Pace gewen. So hopelik kan ons daar 'n titel byvoeg, ek en hy.
Ja, en Fransjo Trotsky is ook 'n gewigtige speler, speel ook vir WP. Ek het vandag Eugene Ferreira langs my ingeskuif en ons het so 'n bietjie gepraat oor die interdistrikte waar jy was. En toe het hy vir my vir jou gesê dat jy het vir Nick Rushling die Springbok gespeel en jy het teruggekom met die hoogste lof. Hulle het gesê dat jy was miskien die beste lei in die toernooi.
Ja.
Nou, dit is fantasties om dit te hoor.
Maar mens kan nie elke keer goed wees nie.
en die ander ding wat ek jou wil vra, hoe het jy die baan gevind vandag?
Om eerlikwaar vir hom te sê, ek teenoor gister se bane was dit 'n groot verskil. Bietjie stadige, bietjie baie tricky want dit was so 'n bietjie van 'n warrelwind daar aan die een kant. So as jy wegspeel van die scorebord af, het hy vinnig geloop en terug na die scorebord toe het hy was hy 'n stootjie en 'n half. Maar Kevin het dit maar beter gekry as wat ek het. Het ons albei gesukkel, hy het net beter gekry.
Ja, dit is daardie jare se ondervinding en jy weet, jy speel by Edgemead, jy kry baie wind daar, maar daar by The Glen waar hy speel is net so baie wind. Jy weet daarvan.
Ons kry van een rigting af.
Party daar dan waai die stoele en die telborde tot op die baan. Nee, dit was lekker om te kyk. Jy het baie goed geveg in daai wedstryd, maar ek dink die keerpunt het in die wedstryd gekom in die 20ste kop toe jy ongelukkige 4 afgestaan het.
Ja, toe ek per ongeluk 'n skoot gespeel wat ek nie gedink het, wat ek actually nou dink onnodig was omrede sy bal het gelyk of dit so 20 cm agter die wit was, waar dit in elk geval 70 cm agter die wit was. So ek is nog 'n bietjie teleurgestel met daai skoot, want dan sou ek net liewes te getrek het, maar ag, dit is maar wat gebeur, mens leer uit om kop toe te gaan en te kyk wat aangaan.
Is wonderlik dat jy voel jy het geleer uit dit uit en ons kan net vir jou baie sterkte toewens in die toekoms met jou rolbal. Jy doen besonder goed op die oomblik. En jy weet, verlede jaar was dit die eerste keer wat jy vir hierdie kampioene van kampioene toernooi gekwalifiseer het. Jy het dit gewen en vir jare het jy teruggekom en jy het jou titel kon verdedig deur eers, en jy is by 'n baie groot klub, Edgemead, om daar ook die kampioen te wees.
Ons het 160 lede.
Nou dit is baie voortreffelik, maar Armand, baie geluk met jou prestasies tot dit ver. Jy's maar 6 jaar betrokke by die spel. Kevin is 53 jaar daar. 'n Mens kon miskien vandag dit so bietjie hier na die einde se kant toe kon jy dit sien,
ja.
Maar jy het nog steeds jou baie goed van jou taak gegooi en voorspoed vorentoe.
Baie dankie.
Right, now let's get back to the ladies novice final. I just had a chat to Armand Askaray and he gives credit to Kevin Campbell, who played exceptionally good bowls in these windy conditions. And at the moment, there's quite a remarkable change on the scoreboard. It's Peels at the moment, it's 17 all, and it's after 23 ends. 17 all, and any one of these two ladies can win the title. What's going to happen? One of them needs 4 shots to be the champion.
Ek dink hy's die wind wat hier om die draai. Nou kom hy so maak hy so. Dit is vry. Maar as jy was 'n tornado. Met 3-4 was 'n tornado wat hier opgekom het. Skoolbal opgedag het.
That's a brilliant bowl at this stage of the game, and Marion Wasdell is holding the shot. Now can Catherine van Wyk get inside that bowl? She's watching it very closely. Just misses it on the outside.
Well done, Mark. Seriously, dat je daar iets leer weet.
The ladies are really struggling to bowl into the wind. You can see that they're putting extra effort into the delivery, and it goes a little bit offline. Let's look closely at her delivery. Into the wind. Yeah, you can see there's a little bit of extra effort behind that shot. Now the bowl emerges, and it's beautiful weight, just short, but it could be a measure for the second shot at this stage. Crucial stage in the game. Score 17 all after 23 ends, and it's the novice final between Marion Wasdell and Catherine van Wyk. Catherine van Wyk trying very hard. And the umpire indicates to Marion that she's still holding the shot. She changes her hand. She was going to play the other hand. Changes the bowl in her hand. This looks quite good. The marker looking very carefully at the bowls, and it would appear that it's only one shot. We'll keep our eye on that scoreboard. On the other side, the flipboard. 24 ends completed, and this is the final of the ladies novices in the Champion of Champions tournament for 2022, played at the Meadowridge Bowling Club in the southern suburbs of Cape Town. And Marianne Wasdell has picked up, and I think it was only one shot. Indeed, the score after 24 ends is 18 to Marianne Wasdell, 17 to Catherine van Wyk. There's one shot in it. Any one of these two ladies can be crowned the champion. It's still anybody's game. Some of the spectators that have remained, they are also keeping a close watch at this game. And now Marianne Wasdell. This is with the wind, so there won't be so much strength behind the delivery. He doesn't seem to like it. But it is still a very good shot. In very close proximity of the jack. Marianne Wasdell is leading Catherine van Wyk by one shot, and they are playing the 25th end. And as I said earlier on, the semi-final also went 28 ends, and Catherine van Wyk is trying her utmost, but it just runs through a little bit. Conditions not that easy. The wind is swirling. Where they are, there's no clubhouse, but there's a hedge which protects them a little bit from the wind. And it's difficult to bowl downwind and then come up and bowl into the wind again. What has Karen van Wyk got in her armour? Can she do it? Lovely step and a very smooth delivery. Can Marianne Wasdell close this game in and pick up 3 shots? And that one was too wide and it's outside the rink, so it's a dead bowl, and the marker removes it and puts it on the bank. The bowl has to stay between those white lines that you see on the bank. And it appears that Catherine van Wyk is a little tentative at the moment, most probably. It's the nerves, but she's got to get those butterflies to fly in formation. She's got to stay focused, concentrate. Marianne has just taken her shot bowl out. All depends how far that bowl has gone to the back. We'll have to wait and see. And what can Catherine van Wyk do? Lovely balance. And she bowled a toucher, but it's just gone through. And I think the jack went towards Marianne Wasdell's bowl. But we will watch the marker very, very closely. She's made up her decision, I think, or her mind. No. She's fetching her little bag with the measuring tools, and it could be a measure. She's waiting on the players. and they've decided it calls for a measure. Score at present 18-17 in favour of Marion Wasdel from Helderberg, and she's playing against Catherine van Wyk of Somerset West, and this is in the ladies novice final of the Champion of Champions being staged at the Meadowridge Bowling Club in Cape Town. The marker is just going through the motions of measuring, and it would appear that Catherine van Wyk's bowl was closest. And it remains neck or neck here. 25 ends played, 18 all, and any one of these two ladies can clinch the title. Beautiful Sunday afternoon in Cape Town. Are we going to see another marathon match here? The semi-final went a long way. Everybody waited. We had to start a bit late with the final because of that. And now Catherine van Wyk on the mat. She's placing lovely weight on her front foot. And that's a very, very good first bowl. 18 all. Now, can Catherine van Wyk draw another bowl in there to exert some pressure onto Marion Wasdel? I'm sure she's going to try her very best. This bowl is on a good line. It's all the weight, and it is a brilliant bowl. She's bowled two very good bowls there. Now, what can Marion Wasdel do? A little bit of weight. She tried to make contact with those bowls. She was not successful. Now, can Catherine van Wyk draw a third shot in there? Something must have interfered with her. She's standing back. And then she's starting the process all over again. Let's watch this bowl closely. This is so important to Catherine van Wyk. Looks very good. The weight looks excellent. Three wonderful bowls bowled by Catherine van Wyk. And if nothing changes, she is going to be the ladies champion of champion for 2022 for the novices. I think Marion Wasdel has got other ideas. Here she comes. Has she practiced this shot enough? Because novices tend just to draw. It's a good effort. If nothing changes, then Catherine van Wyk will be the winner. She needs 3 shots, and she's holding 3 shots at the moment. Well, everything is in this bowl that Marion Wasdell has got to deliver now. All the concentration. I think it's going to be a bit wide. And the ladies novice champion for 2022 is Catherine van Wyk of the Somerset West Bowls Club. And after 26 ends, she's victorious over Marion Wasdell with 21-18, a wonderful match, closely contested, and 3 excellent bowls bowled by Catherine van Wyk, and she managed to be the winner for 2022. And I would just like to give you a summary of what has happened in the final. Let's start with the ladies. We just saw the last few ends of the ladies novices, which was won by Catherine van Wyk, 21-18, and she beat Marion Wasdell of Helderberg Bowling Club. In the ladies open, Junita Huishamer tried very hard. She's only come back to bowls in the last year, but Maggie van Zyl, she was on form again. She's won 3 tournaments in a row now, Maggie van Zyl, and Maggie van Zyl is the 2022 Ladies Open Champion of Champion winner. She beat Junita Huishamer 21-10. In the men's novices, it was a tussle between Dean Kaiser and Daryl Thorburn, and in the end it was Daryl Thorburn that was victorious with 21-18. And in the men's open, it was the 71-year-old Kevin Campbell with 53 years of experience against a man that's only been at the game for 6 years. He's only 19 years old. He was the defending champion, Armand Askaray, but Kevin Campbell being victorious 21-10. And he's the first player in the history of this tournament that's been going for 52 years to win the title 3 times. There were 5 other players that has done it twice, but Kevin is the first to be the winner of the title for 3 years. That is the news that we've got for you at the moment. I really hope and trust that you've enjoyed this broadcast, and we look forward to bringing you more bowls from this beautiful part of the world, the Western Cape. We say thank you for joining us, and we say goodbye.
I think you also enjoyed the bowls today. I think especially the novices, they impressed us a lot. And I think they must have been nervous out of their socks. Some of them haven't played even in a competition like this before. And I think from starting yesterday and ending up where they end up today, it was actually a good growing ground for them. So I want to acknowledge the novices in this competition. Okay, now all the thank yous, and if I forget somebody, I'm sorry, I'll just get you at the bar and I'll buy you a drink afterwards, okay? Firstly, to Meadowridge, thank you for hosting the event. The greens were absolutely beautiful, and I think you all will agree with that. And to the guys in the kitchen, the ladies, well done, and thank you very much. And then to Personal Trust, the sponsor of Western Province Bowls and all these competitions. I said to somebody today, honestly, without them, we won't be able to give you prize money today. So I want to thank Personal Trust. And then there's a special thank you that I want to do, and that's Jenny Griffiths. I mean, she put so much in the background, and nobody actually knows what goes on to get this to where it is today. So Jenny, from all of us, I want to thank you. Job well. So I hope I didn't forget too many people because then I've got a budget problem. Okay, let's start with this. Firstly, the novices, the ladies, the semi-finalists, Karen and Lorraine. Will you please come on? Well done.
Cheers. Thank you. You can just photograph near the banner.
For the photograph? Just you two together. And then Marion, the runner-up. You can just stand there for the picture. Yeah. And then to the winner, Catherine.
Paparazzi, eh?
Okay, and then to the gentleman, I think the gentleman with the more entertaining drinks that we saw today. To the semi-finalists, Jason and Devon.
Jason, not yet.
Okay.
Just do Devon, let him have the accolade that he deserves. There we go, Devon. Well done, boy.
And then to our runner-up, Dean. Well done. Yes, almost.
Yeah, kan we start. Sorry, sorry.
Oh yeah. Okay, and then to the our novice champion, Daryl.
God help us.
Daryl, I just want to say something. Is this because you play Siege? Is this because you play taps in so many times at Plumstead?
Well done, Daryl.
No, they didn't go.
Oh, Daryl,
Something else.
Okay, then to our ladies, our semi-finalists, and Gray and Emily.
Emily, we have a medal for you. Oh, keep now.
Well done, Annie. And then our ladies runner-up, Juanita.
Yeah.
Well done, Juanita.
And then, well done. And I think we've grown so used to this name. Maggie? Before I hand this to Maggie, I just want to say something, and that's from my personal side. Maggie, I actually, for me, your bowls is brilliant. But besides that, the way that you help other bowlers and share your knowledge with us, I appreciate that. Thank you very
It's a pleasure.
Okay, to the men. The semi-finalists, Eugene and Nick.
Here we go, Nick. Here we go. We have a medal for you. There we go. Nice to meet
Then our runner-up, Armand. Jij moet dan weer Okay, and then to our winner, Kevin. I was going to ask him how many times did you win?
How many times is your name on this trophy? No time.
I know what you mean. The two oldies here together. What? That's not
Yay! Okay. Then we go in there, otherwise they won't know what that's representing.
Okay, I want one with you.
Okay, Maggie wanted the picture of the oldies. Okay, before I give Kevin a chance to say something, I did forget somebody, and it's actually important people. All the markers and the umpires.
Some of them make marathons for 2 days.
I just want to say nobody reminded me. Just click the person I did forgot about, and somebody reminded me. No, thank you. Thank you for live streaming this evening.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen and fellow players, Western Province Executive and Personal Trust, thank you for putting this whole thing together. From my own personal point of view, this is a bit of a surprise because I'm what is known as a PTB. That means part-time bowler. So with COVID and all the other things that have happened to me, I haven't really participated much. And my very, very competent club competition secretary said to me, the entries for the club singles are closing, would you like to play? And at that stage I'd had a hand up. So this has all come about quite unexpectedly for me. And you know, I only win everything once every 10 years. So, yeah, so hopefully when I'm 81, I'll come back and win this again. But I think, you know, we all enter these competitions with great hopes And I think this year with the novices, I think gives them a great incentive to try harder. And I think there's lots of talent out there. Thank you to all the participating players who made this possible. And I think the one lot of people you may have forgotten are the spectators. You know, it's unusual to have a bank of spectators like we had today. So thank you to one and all who've spent the time and came and supported us. I hope you got entertainment out of that. And we'd love to see you back next year. Thank you very much.
Done. It's a pleasure. Keep